Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a timely tarot oracle reading about random shift. If you do resonate with the title and or the thumbnail, this is the perfect reading for you, delivered at the perfect time, courtesy of the universe through the language of synchronicity. This is a timely reading, so if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That might give you further clarity as to your situation now. All right, we're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck, and this is the Five of Wands, and the Five of Wands represents immature competition. This is my Mean Girls card. This is talking about think narcissistic cheerleaders that are in grade 6 to grade 10 kind of age, and they are at a competition and they want to win. And they can see the other team is better than them, but they want to win. And they want that trophy really badly. And so they will compete really badly to get that trophy, basically. And if they're not successful in their efforts, their mothers will pull strings behind the scenes to make sure that they do get it. Immature competition. This can also represent sibling rivalry. This is the only card in tarot where people are actually fighting with each other that are younger. And this is talking about, when we mature, we start to realize that anytime we're in a competition, we're actually in the competition with ourselves. So it's talking about, moving forward in competition, allowing it to inspire you and learning from the competition rather than being in a position of fighting for a trophy instead of just doing your best to be 1% even better than you were the last time you went out. If everyone on the team is 1% better every time they go out there, then they're going to it'll add up, especially on a team if everybody has this approach. And, they'll go out there and actually win that trophy, and it'll be a trophy that they deserve to win, and they're going to feel really good about it. So it's about learning from the competition and using the competition to inspire you rather than being concerned about just winning or losing. And then we have this energy of the sun. So the sun energy is talking about the happiest card in the deck. So when this appears, it's saying that God is here and shining light on the situation. So the result for you, you're meant to be a happy person. You're a child of God. This is representing you on this pony, fearless with no reins, holding this heavy banner. This is your destined path. The sunflowers are following the sun, and so are you. And it's just a happy card. And whenever the sun card comes out, it reflects light on all the rest of the cards, brings the truth out, and also helps to bring happiness to the situation. We do have the King of Swords. So the King of Swords energy is talking about understanding the value of words, how to use words. This is talking about the King of Swords is representing someone that does earn their living, or their career involves using their words in a strong way. The King of Swords is very charismatic and is good with words. Now, the swords in tarot do represent your thoughts. They represent your mental intelligence and also discipline of your mind. And also it's a double-edged sword representing the need to use your logic and your intuition for creative solutions. So this type of energy would be, career-wise, would be someone that is, well, we have a king here, so it could actually be a king. This could also represent a president, prime minister, someone in the Senate, the Congress, a minister in the federal government. This is talking about someone who has authority. And in the legal system, it would be, judges and head prosecutor. This would be the lawmakers, basically. If this is a lawyer, this would be a lawyer most likely in that's a partner in a prestigious firm. And this could also represent the energy of an inventor with patents. It could be a social media influencer. It could be someone who's a best-selling author using their words. Also maybe, a public speaker. What else do we have here? We have, judges, lawyers. I said that already. This could be, a surgeon, a veterinarian, a dentist, psychiatrist, those kinds of occupations. And so all of this energy is talking about the value of words and how to use them, understanding that words can be used as weapons and also they can be used to uplift people. And the King of Swords is very much aware that actions do speak louder than words. And so if you give your word and you don't follow it up with action, your word becomes useless. Then we have the Three of Swords. And so again, this is speaking about the thoughts, but it's also, we have the heart here. And this is a disturbing card. When you look at it, you're like, whoa, there's swords in this person's heart. Clearly this is heartache or heartbreak. Something has happened that, there's a need for an apology or healing of the heart. When you look at it the second time, you recognize, wait a minute, this heart is actually quite big in context to these swords. So it's more like, these are more like nails than like swords. So maybe this is something that a person could recover from. This is talking about a need for apology or forgiveness. And it's also talking about sometimes harsh words being spoken. It can be gossip, slander, that type of energy. And in matters of love, sometimes this can represent a third-party energy that's dividing a couple. So there's something going on here, but we do have the sun shining light on it. So we'll see what is going on here. We do have the King of Wands. Now the King of Wands is one of four kings in the minor arcana, and he is all about, he's a visionary, very a well-liked king. Like he's someone that has a lot of charisma. He's good with his words, but he also follows it up with action. His element is fire, and he has the wand in hand here, and this is a wooden wand because the wood fuels the fire. And this also, coming from a tree, this represents the deep roots of the ancestors as well as your descendants, the offshoots. The king is considered to be one of the sexiest, and he's also very charismatic. This is someone that is a visionary. He likes to tackle new projects, go on new adventures, bringing in information to make the world a better place, basically. He has, on the back of his throne here, he does have these salamanders with their tail in a circle and this lion. And he also has this little salamander running here. That represents protection from fire, that being his element. I noticed a while back that it looks almost like someone's face here, with the eyes and then a mustache and smoke coming out. This could just mean like this king is smoking hot. He's very desirable, so there can be a lot of competition for him. And also this energy can sometimes say where there's smoke, there is fire. The King of Wands is someone that takes longer to settle down to marriage or commitments, having a family, etc. Generally, all of the fire signs are mature a little bit later in that regard. They value their freedom highly, and they're always looking for adventure. So, in particular, the Sagittarius energy. So this is just saying, being aware of that. That the king is the least likely to settle down at a young age. Now, we have a situation here where we have the happiest card in the deck. We have some sort of words being spoken, and this has caused hardship. Sometimes this could represent there is a third party energy. We have one king here, and we have competition for sure. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles. So the Pentacles in Tarot do represent health, wealth, happiness in the 3D. And so this is talking about pre-Empress energy. The Empress is actually in the Major Arcana, and she represents absolute fertility, being in the flow, being a powerful manifester. She has, and this is talking about almost being there. Now, the Empress in Tarot basically is like a status of reaching, having all the qualities of the four queens from the minor arcana because of all the life experience through trials and tribulations, and also through good events happening. that the pre-Empress energy has learned a lot of different qualities that the queens have, and is very close to being at Empress status. Now, this is talking about, the pentacle energy is talking about health, wealth, and happiness in the 3D world. And it's represented by a coin because, of course, a very big part of happiness in the 3D world is money. But you could have all the money in the world and still not have the lifestyle that you want to live. So the pentacles actually represent lifestyle more than just money. So this is representing how much time, money, and energy you invest of yourself in any given project or in any person. And what is what do you anticipate the outcome to be? Is it going to be a fair exchange of energy? And so this is talking about this person needing to learn that discernment. This always reminds me of the famous inventor Nikola Tesla. He was a genius, and he would always say, if you knew the beauty of the 369, then you would have the key to the universe. And I do feel like he's talking about a ratio here. We have 3, 6, and 9 in total. This is talking, she always, she understands that she has to invest in herself. The best investment is in yourself to, gain higher learning, gain experience, better yourself. And she knows that she's learned now that she needs to keep her hand on at least like 2/3 of what she has, so that she can be sure that she is able to make the payments and meet the obligations in her business and personal life, and also have a little extra in case of emergency. And then this is talking about, that she has these 3 left over, so she might use one for a more risky investment, that if it doesn't pan out, it's not going to affect her ability to pay her bills, but it will, if it does work out, it will definitely improve her financial portfolio. And then she also may be giving some to charity, and another one maybe saving up for a holiday or that sort of energy. So this is talking, I feel the falcon here is representing her ability to have the foresight to understand that energy. And it's sometimes we learn those lessons in a hard way, and sometimes, we're blessed to learn them in an easier way. But this is saying that this cycle is coming to an end, whatever it is. So that's where this happiness comes in. I feel like there's some sort of energy maybe that happened between these two. There may have been some sort of a third-party energy. That there may be a divorce or some sort of energy around that. That's what it seems to be talking about. But we do have a lot of pentacles here. So this does represent lifestyle, but like 9 pentacles, there's only 10 in the tarot. So 10 would be the most, like millionaire, trillion, or billionaire, trillionaire energy. And this would be multimillionaire. So sometimes this energy, this is a lot of coin. So sometimes this energy can represent, some sort of energy directed in business partnerships, or, something to do with money and investments and that type of energy. Or it could be both. Of course, if someone is going to, the King of Swords quite often can represent a divorce lawyer. So if there is a divorce, there's going to be splitting of assets. So it could be that. And maybe this energy now is coming to a close. And when the World card shows up, the World card is number 21 in the major arcana, and the Fool goes off on his journey. He takes a leap of faith and starts off at the 0 point. And, when this card shows up, it's saying, okay, that cycle is now complete. And it's time, you've learned everything that you can, you've achieved what you can from this situation. It's time to move forward, and in a stronger way, or in a different. And then we have here to clarify that, yes, there's a major transition coming in. So if you've been sort of stuck in this energy, this could be saying that, okay, it's finally going to be over. You've learned everything you can. You're at pre-Empress energy. Good job. Sometimes we have to learn things the hard way, and sometimes we learn things an easier way. But whatever has happened, the Grim Reaper is representing the death and the rebirth of something. So this is talking about him coming into town. This older person is saying, we don't want you to come into town, stay out. But we all know that the saying is that the 2 things you can count on are death and taxes and change. Change is happening every second of every minute of every day. And quite often we don't really notice change, but it is happening. And we notice when change hits us and it's difficult to deal with, or it disrupts our day or our energy. We notice if it's exciting and it, improves our life, and sometimes if it has a negative effect. So, but change is going to come through no matter what this older person says. And these two younger people here, they're excited. Yay, there's a stranger in town. Maybe he's interesting, and this one is even offering him a flower. And this is representing the bloom of new life. And this is the light at the end of a tunnel. So if you've been through this difficult time and, maybe you've been working on healing your heart and you finally are feeling like you're getting back up on your feet and you're feeling, more like yourself again. And that energy the king here has been trampled, but this is not representing a real king. This is talking about something you thought would never change. Like, so if this was like a marriage and you thought, I'll never get divorced. You always said when you were a child, I'll never get divorced. And now you are. It can be really challenging to accept sometimes. So I feel like this energy is saying, hey, there is going to be sunshine in your life. You deserve to be happy, and, keep moving forward and, get moving into the direction that you want to go. And now that you have conviction beyond a doubt, you're willing to stand up for yourself and take action on moving forward in your life. So this is really good to see. This is saying that you know what you know now. You've learned a lot, and you're ready to, if you have to fight for what's yours, you will fight for it. But you also are holding this energy close to your heart. So you want to follow your heart. This energy here can represent, someone having to stand their ground. They've gone to higher ground. You notice they have a boot on one foot and a shoe on the other. And this could represent that this person was in a hurry to go protect his environment, his property, or whatever. And these are actions others are taking, and that could be possible. But it also can represent being like straddled between two worlds. So having one foot in one world and one foot in the other. And sometimes it can even talk about walking in someone else's shoes. In cases where if there's any illegalities, because we do have the lawyers sitting right on top of this energy can represent conviction beyond a doubt. So if you've been in some sort of a legal battle and there was assets taken from you, in some way, then this is saying that eventually there will be conviction beyond a doubt. You will get what God is saying. Whatever was taken from you will be returned if it was taken, illegally. And this can sometimes, walking in someone else's shoes can sometimes represent identity theft or that type of energy. It just depends on your situation. If you don't have any illegal or anything that you know of, then it's probably representing that you're straddled between these two worlds. And it's time to move forward and in a strong way. And then we have the Earth Angel energy. And this is talking about having patience. And in situations like this, it can be really challenging to have patience, So like if there is some sort of court proceedings, those can take like years. It can take a long time, and even just healing from a situation, if this could represent, a marriage, or it could represent a business partnership, or, some change that you weren't really wanting to happen. Basically, it was upsetting, and maybe harsh words were spoken in that. And so Temperance is talking about, watching your words, how you use your words with yourself. Making sure you're not beating yourself up. And, if you have a lot of energy being directed at you already and you're already feeling challenged, keep your words about, be careful about the words you use about your future and where you're going, because words have a lot of power. And this is representing Earth Angel energy. So the Earth Angel knows that, she's adding her special alchemy to the water, the universal pool here. And she's got her right foot in there, so taking action to add her own special, unique qualities to bring into the world. And she's got her left foot grounded on earth here. And look where her foot is. There's already beautiful flowers growing. So this is saying you have the potential to grow a beautiful life with your words and how you use your words with others and yourself. And so, stay on your path of glory as best you can. This is talking about the sun being on a path of bettering yourself. The best investment you can make is always in yourself. And then we have, getting out of that mental prison. So I feel that this is talking about, this energy here is saying that this person feels trapped, and this sometimes can represent a heartbreaking decision that needs to be made. And so and this could be straddling, that decision basically, not knowing what to do. And I just did a random shift reading very similar to this. I feel that this is at this time on the planet, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in the economy. There's a lot going on at the top, with the world leaders. There's just a lot happening. And the energy is really, a lot of different energy out there. And so it's important sometimes to recognize that, this is talking about someone who feels duty bound. Maybe you feel laden down with responsibility and you feel kind of trapped by your thoughts. And so that was what the last random shift reading was about as well, kind of feeling like I've got to make all these decisions. But this one I feel is talking more about making a decision, a heartbreaking decision, something like about cutting yourself away from something that you love or people that you love, having to make that decision possibly. You notice in the background here, we have the castle and she has her back to that castle. So this could be talking about moving away from family, moving away from loved ones. It could be an actual physical move, or it could be just deciding I have to do that and taking. She's like not wanting to make this decision, but she eventually has. And this water here represents emotion in tarot. So she has her right foot forward. So she's on dry land here. But her left foot is still in a puddle and it's shallow now. I feel there was way more water here, but she's worked through like 8 of these or 7 of these decisions already. And so those thoughts she has put behind her, and she's ready to move forward now and take action. And so this is really good. This is, taking the time to do it, being patient about the healing and making the best move that you can make. And sometimes this can also represent the thoughts of other people behind her back. So there could have been harsh words, there could have been slander, gossip, whatever that is about. And so I'm going to clarify this. Well, first let's go from the bottom to the top and back down. We have the sun coming in. So this is saying there can be a very happy result here, and that God's with you. Like you're a child of God and you're meant to be happy. This is supposed to be that we're going to have trials and tribulations, but it's for a period of time, and then we move into a new time frame. And this is talking about this one coming to an end very soon. It may seem like it's lasted forever. Sometimes that's the feeling, but it is shifting, it is changing. And now that you know what you know and you have conviction beyond a doubt, you're willing to stand up for yourself and take an action. And it's okay to take your time to do that if you're healing. And you need to know that what you're doing is strong. And it looks like you've done a lot of that work. That you've done your research, you've gone inward and contemplated. But you don't want to sit here forever. You need to be able to move forward and take action so that you can, patience is a good quality to have. And then eventually, though, you do have to take some steps of action to be able to move forward. And that's what this is talking about. This is talking about a promise of having a really good lifestyle and free of worry, moving forward. And there could even be a potential person coming into your life that is perfect for you. That's really charming, a lot of fun. You enjoy, it's a good energy. And sometimes this card can actually represent your subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind being plugged into your heart now because you've done so much of the work. And so now you are going to get, you're plugged into what your heart wants. And so you've done good work here. Feel proud of yourself. Whatever this is that you're going through, it too will pass. It all, change is always happening. Why is it that it always feels like when you're going through challenging times that time passes so slow, and when you're having a lot of fun, time seems to just fly by? It's just a part of life, I guess. And I'm going to clarify this. If you're leaving the reading here, thank you so much for your time and energy, and your likes and comments. I really appreciate them. Consider subscribing. I would be honored. And now I'm going to clarify with my oracle. And this is something I started back in 2007. And in 2020, I completed all 64 of the paintings. And now I'm working on bringing it out, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. I have a lot of information, and these numbers on these cards represent the numbers of the paintings on my website, talesfromthevector.com, and I will put them in the order they show up here. They say a picture paints 1,000 words. I'm working on getting the paintings in smaller form, because a lot of my paintings are 3 feet by 4 foot dragons, and it's they're from the future, from the Intergalactic Federation of Light. So soon I'll have those in with the reading, so it will help for you to maybe see some of that. But for now, I'll put this in the description box below, and you can take a look if you're interested. So this is talking about having the strength and the integrity to move forward, and to take a good look. What part did you play in this? What could you do differently to better your performance? That sort of, like, being honest with yourself and with others about, what's happened. Superstar energy. Yeah, this is talking about having harmony in your words again. I feel like forgiveness. Remember this, that forgiveness is for yourself. You could forgive someone, and it doesn't mean that you condone their actions against you. It means that you want to clear space in your heart so that you can heal and open up to the beauty of, what's out there for you again, so that you can go after what you want with a full heart that's healed. And it's perfect to take that time to do that. And the worst thing possible, if this was like a relationship, is to get into another one because you want to fill that hole. You're much better off taking your time and, applying that to your pentacle energy. It's amazing if you're in that energy and you just decide, okay, you know what? I'm going to take a rest from this energy of love and that, and I'm going to apply myself to my career. A lot of people find that they pour that energy into that, and it can be very healing and also lucrative. And so the Empress energy, it's talking about here, everything that you've been through is, you're at pre-Empress energy, and now all this inner work that you're doing is actually propelling you forward in a very strong way. And so be really proud of the work you've done to overcome whatever it is that you're going through. And this is also talking about a karmic space that we can get into where, sometimes we're so focused on our material needs that we don't pay enough attention to our soul's desires, and sometimes we are, so spiritual that we don't pay attention to our material needs, and there needs to be a balance between the two. And so, give yourself permission to go after your authentic desires. Your authentic desires are what your heart wants. It's using a combination of, your intuition and your logic to be able to feel with your heart, what is it I really want here? So this can be a huge opportunity to make a shift into a new way of being here. And then we have judgment. And so this is God's judgment. God's judgment unfetters the heart. This is saying, only God can really judge other people and anyone, in this situation, really. Because only God knows what's truly in people's hearts. We don't know what's happened to people to cause them to be the way they are. We think we do, but we don't even know ourselves that well half the time. So this is talking about using any moon energy to really propel yourself forward. At this time, we do have a blue moon as I'm doing this reading. It's June 2nd, basically. And this energy is talking about using that moon energy. It's when we're highly intuitive, and using that to your benefit. You want to remain engaged in the energy instead of wallowing in the emotion of it. So the best thing you can do is continue to make the decisions until you're ready to walk forward. Take the blindfold off and walk fearlessly into your new way of being, basically. And the Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor. We do have the moon. I'm talking about the blue moon that we've had on the 31st, and we're still feeling that energy. So if you're watching this as when I first post it, if you're feeling really emotional, you're not the only one. There was 2 full moons in 1 month, and that's made it, everybody very emotional. Not everybody, but a lot of people feel more emotional than usual, and also more intuitive. So use that energy and the Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor. And look, we have the moon again. So it's saying reckless abandon, because freedom is discipline of your mind. So if you can quiet your mind and feel with your heart and combine the two and apply logic to your situation, you're going to, it's saying, like with this card here, it's saying that you're moving into a better way of being. And you'll probably look back at this in a few months and be like, wow, that was a difficult time, but boy, did I ever learn a lot. And you might and it's good that you took time to heal, to make strong decisions instead of just rushing into something. All right, I do hope that this has been empowering for you. Thank you for your time, energy, likes, comments, subscribes. I really do appreciate it, and I'm honored when you do subscribe. I will be back with another random shift reading soon. Bye for now.